Hey everyone, welcome to CSC 532 Design and Analysis of Algorithms. My name is Yang Song, and you should have seen my name already on the registration system. So I will be the instructor of this class, and this will be the way of my teaching in this course for this semester. Okay, later as when I introduce you through the syllabus, I'm going to explain why. Okay, so about this course. The purpose of this course is I'm going to give you a rigorous introduction to the design and analysis of algorithms. This is not a lab course, but I do require you to code some of the algorithms. So get ready to code Python. Okay, and this is not a math course either, but especially in the second half of the semester, and you will see I show you full screens of the mathematical equations. This is a master course, and then I would say I should show you the formal proofs of certain algorithms, to make it really on the right master level. Okay, and then the textbook. We are using this textbook. So this textbook, I just checked the price on Amazon and it is $55. And if you want to buy used ones, and it could be even cheaper. But this textbook is required. So I expect you to have access to such a book. If you can rent this book, that's fine. And if you share a book with your study mate, that's also fine. But I will expect you to read the corresponding chapters of this book before you come and ask me questions. So if you contact me and say, "Hey, professor, can you explain this to me again?" And the first thing I'm going to ask is, have you read the book already? If you have read the book and you still have questions, come, I can help you. But if you haven't read the book, or if you don't have a book, I'm going to say, "Oh, you got to have a book, and then you should read the book first." Okay? And for me, I'm Yang Sang, and this is my email, and then my office is Condenhao 2034. So if you want to come to my office during my office hours, that's fine. And then my office hours will be 1 to 2 Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if you want to come to my office hours, one requirement I have is you have to wear a mask. And if you open the door and if you see I don't have a mask yet, and then knock the door and give me like maybe 5 seconds for me to grab a mask before you come in, and then we start talking. Okay? And then if this office hour doesn't work for you, or at this time you are not on campus, shoot me an email, and then we can also talk online. Okay? This is a grading policy. So homework 25%, and exam 1 and exam 2, those are two midterms, 20% each. And then we have a final, and the final is 35%. Okay, and then the course prerequisites. And since you are already in this course, and then I believe you have one of them already, or you have already done the paperwork, so that I allow you in. Okay, and then the format. So, officially, we are going to have 2 lectures per week. So, my goal is I'm going to release 2 batches of the videos every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, and then for the homework, I'm going to give you homework most of the weeks. So, almost every week you will have a homework to do, and the homework could be a problem set. A problem set will be a set of the theoretical questions, and you can type your solutions to a PDF, or it could be a programming assignments, and this means I'm giving you a bunch of the instructions, ask you to code certain algorithms, and you turn in your program. So, eventually we are going to have 2 midterms and plus 1 final exam. Okay, so, why do we want to learn algorithms? If you want to go to industry to find a developer job, for example, and those are some of the common questions they may ask, like how do you reverse a singly linked list? This is a nice question. It's not so hard, but this requires you to remember what is linked list and what is a singly linked list. And then once you know that, and then you have to design an algorithm to reverse the singly linked list. And this is this is not a hard question, but it requires you to remember a lot of things and know how this data structure is designed before you can even move on and start to coding your algorithm. And then another one, given a list of 1 million values, unsorted, and how do you find the middle 5 values? Well, this is a large number of the values, and this makes the question hard. And if you can find a linear algorithm, that would be terrific. But if you have to sort them, it may not be the best thing to do. Okay, another one. Given a tree structure, how do you count the number of the leaves? So you have a tree structure and you have the root, and then you want to go down all the directions so that you can visit all the leaves once, but only once. Okay, so this is another hard question. And after this class, and you will know how to solve this kind of problems. And after you have a solution to solve this problem, well, you also have to talk about why your solution is the optimal one. And then once you have an algorithm, and how do you evaluate the time complexity of your algorithm? Those are all the things we are going to talk in this class. Okay, so the next question you may have is, it sounds like it's a lot of work, or it sounds like there are a lot of content that will be covered in this class, and you are right. So how do I master the material? So here are some of the recommendations. So review Python and data structure. So Python, and if you have done the Python class here, and I'm referring to CSC 131 in UNC Wilmington, and also the data structure, because for some of the algorithms, we have to start from a certain data structure and build on based on the data structure to create an algorithm. So for the basic algorithms, for example, like linked list, like heap, well, those are the things you should know. And read the book. Well, once I finish a chapter, and then I'm gonna give you a list of the sections, and those are the sections I have covered in this book, and then I do require you to read the book. And then you should be able to trace the algorithms on paper or whiteboard. So if I give you an algorithm, or if you see an algorithm on the textbook, and then you can create a small sample data. So for example, a small tree structure, and then you just follow the algorithm step by step, and you should be able to trace the algorithm to get the right result. And then write programs. Well, you do have to to understand how an algorithm works. The best way is you code it by yourself. And once you are able to code that, and then you can trace it, and then you really understand how it works. Well, having the pseudocode on the textbook and reading the pseudocode, well, this knowledge is not yours yet. You have to do the coding and trace the algorithm to make you really understand this. And then turn the assignments on time, and you can decide to work independently or with a partner on all the homework. So if you have if you know someone in this class, and then you want to form a study team, and then you want to work on all the homework together, that is fine. And then you have only one late submission. Well, and you can use this late submission only once if you are submitting late, no more than 7 days. Okay, so if you for some personal reason you miss an assignment, and then make use of the late submission. Okay, and then they'll also make use of my office hours, because every Wednesdays and Thursdays and 1 to 2 p.m. I will be here in my office waiting for you guys. And if you have questions, come and talk to me. Or if you say, 1 to 2, I'm not on campus, can we do a Zoom? And then yes, we can do that. Okay, so the next, I'm going to go through the syllabus with you. Okay, so the syllabus is here. Okay, so you know me and Yang Song, and office is Condon 2034. And well, the class modality. The class will be asynchronous, and then every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm gonna push several videos into this playlist. So if you want to mark this playlist, and then I recommend you to do so. Okay, so all the course materials will be in all the course lecture videos will be in this playlist. Well, and this is a textbook. Okay, let me say a little bit more about the modality. Well, I know this is a really late change of the modality, and the reason is, well, in the past I have 10 to 15 students in this course, but this semester I have almost 30. So with almost 30 students, or well, if I want to do face-to-face, and almost every day, well, I suspect there are students who will say, "Hey, Professor, I'm sick. And then can you record the class lectures? Or can we Zoom and join the lecture remotely?" And then, well, I want to say yes, but this will put me in a tricky case because our classroom is the classroom that we are assigned to is not designed to be used to teach students online and students in front of me at the same time. So, well, teaching that way with several students online and several students in my classroom is going to be hard. So this is the reason eventually I decided and to change this course to this modality, and it has been approved by my chair. Okay, so this is the textbook, and I usually call that the big white book. And by the way, this is heavy, but still, this is one of my favorite textbook. Okay, so additional reference. Well, if you want to revisit Python, and then there are really a lot of the available materials, and I don't really say you need a Python textbook. But if you feel I want to have a Python textbook to go through all the important things rather than do Google searches or finding an online course, and I would recommend this book. So this is Begin to Code with Python, and this is the introduction of the Python. So if you're rusty in Python, and go ahead and then find this book or find the material that can help you refresh your Python. Okay, and the second one is Problem Solving in Algorithm and Data Structure. So this is a textbook of entry-level algorithms and plus data structures in Python. So this is a book that we use for CSC 231, which is data structure in UNC Wilmington. Okay, so if you and the good news is this book is available online, so you don't have to buy a real copy of this book. And if you feel rusty about some of the data structures, and go ahead and then take a look on this book. Okay, the development environment. Well, we are using PyCharm, and in PyCharm there is a community edition that is free, and then we are using Python 3. So the most recent version should be Python 3.10, but if you have Python 3.9 or 3.8, that is also fine. So make sure that you have installed Python and PyCharm on your machine. Okay, and well, another thing is you do need to have a machine that you can code. If you have a functional machine, even though this machine is already 5 years old, that's fine. And well, we are not doing any high performance computing. But if you don't have a personal machine, and then you can go to computer science building in the room 2004, there is a computer lab, and then you should be able to use your one card to go in and use the computers there. Okay, so here are some of the student learning outcomes, and then the grading. So the grading, well, because this is a graded course, so you get A, B, C, and then F. So you can have A and then A minus and B plus B and B minus and C plus C. But lower than C, you are going to have an F. So, well, this is my expectation. So you get 70 or higher, or you're going to fail. So for the homework, as I said, and you can have a teammate, or you can do everything by yourself, and that is fine. And if you are submitting with your partner, only one of you need to make the submission, and then make sure that you include both of your names on your submission. And then if it is a programming assignment, and then I'm expecting you to submit the .py files. And then if it is a problem set and theoretical questions, you are going to submit the .pdf. And remember this part. So if for the problem sets, if you are doing a handwritten solution and then you take a photo, and if it's well, I'm gonna refuse to grade them. So you have to type your solutions into the PDF. Okay. So, and then we have the test 1 and test 2, and for both test 1 and test 2, they will be take-home exams, and you have a total of 6 hours working on them. And then when I design the questions, and I will design them to be doable in 100 minutes. So, well, in this 6 hours from 3 to 9, as long as you can find as long as you can find 100 minutes working on those questions, it should be enough. And then for final, the final will be on Tuesday, May 5th. And then it will be take home again, and it will be from the noon to the midnight. And then it will be a total of 12 hours. Okay? And then if for some reason you cannot come to the final exam, and then the best thing I can do is I can give you an I for incomplete, and then next semester you come back to me, and then we figure out how do we fix this incomplete score. Okay, and then Condon Howe in 2004, that is the computer lab, and then I will talk about that. And here are some of the course policies. So delivery mode, it will be online asynchronous. And attendance is not required because we are not meeting face to face. And then late submission, we only have each of students only have one late submission allowance. So if you miss one submission, and then you can use the late submission locker within 7 days. But if you miss another assignment, and if you have already used your late submission allowance, and I will say no, I'm not going to take the second late submission. Okay, so makeup tests or exams, and then generally I do not offer makeup tests or exams. And academic integrity, very, very important. Okay, so well, don't try anything that you suspect that it will be under the canopy of plagiarism. And if I see any suspicious cases, as an instructor of UNC Wilmington, I'm not going to play as a detective. Instead, I'm going to report you to the dean of the student office. And trust me, this will be ugly, and then you won't enjoy this process. And I don't enjoy this process either. And then this will make you very sad and very angry, and this will make me sad as well. So don't try that. And later I'm going to tell you what are the collaborations that is allowed in this class and what are the collaborations that will be considered as cheating. So help debugging from the instructor. So well, you need to develop your own skill on debugging your own code. So writing your code is only the first step, but debug it and make it correct, that is the second step. You need to be able to debug. So once you have a certain bug and you can't figure out why, spend some time and try to see if you are able to fix the code by yourself. And then after you spend some time and you still say, oh, I still need some help, and then let me know. So homework. So all the homework are supposed to be your individual work or the contribution of you and your partner, those two people. And then if you grab the solution from anybody else, and then I see that, and then, well, if I see it's suspicious, I may ask you to explain your solution. If your explanation is not adequate or not satisfactory to me, I will still believe that you grab the solution from somebody else. Okay, and regrading. Well, if you're not happy about a grade you receive, and then within 1 week, and then you can ask me to regrade this assignment for you. Oh, and if at the end of this semester, and then you shoot me an email and say, hey professor, can you regrade the assignment 1 for me? And I will say, okay, remember the regrading policy is you have to submit the regrading request within 1 week. Okay, and then in some extreme cases, and for example, I'm really sick or the university shut down for some other reasons, and then I may have to change the syllabus a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about the appropriate collaboration. So those are the collaborations you can do with any of your classmates. So you can share the notes you keep in the class, and then you can discuss anything I have covered in the class. And then if you want to help another student debug, well, and you can do that, but you cannot provide the solutions directly. You can sit together and work together, but you cannot say, well, you cannot type the solutions for another student. Okay, and then here are some of the collaborations that will be considered as cheating or violation of the honor code. And then if you show solution to another student, if this student is not if this student is not your partner, and then no, it's not okay to do so. And if you copy solution from another student, this is definitely plagiarism. And then if you read your solution word by word, to another student, and it will be providing a solution to another student again. So this is also supporting other people in the plagiarism. And then if you help some people during the exam, now you can do that. For the midterm and finals, they are supposed to be individual work only. And if you do other people's work, and then this is plagiarism for sure. So copyright. Well, this is a new regulation of the UNC Wilmington from last year. So all the lecture notes and homework are considered to be the intellectual property of UNC Wilmington instructors. So you are not allowed to share the course material and or the assignments. So even you are not even though you are only publishing the homework questions without your own solutions. Remember, the homework questions are also considered to be the intellectual property of UNC Wilmington. So you cannot do that. So you cannot share or publish the materials from this course. Okay, and special accommodation. So if you have a letter of special accommodation that you need, and bring this letter to me, and then we can talk and figure out a way that I can help you. Okay, so those are all the important things in the syllabus, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.